Hey, gun people and people tired of YouTube censorship. Um, I've been working on this search warrant or subpoena language for people to use. I'm going to make this a shared document on Google. I'm also going to put a link and have it in PDF form on my website so anybody can download it or get it. So I just kind of knocked this out a little bit here. I worked on a little bit. It took me longer to find the address than it did to do this warrant. But if I was typing a warrant or a subpoena to YouTube about their censorship or about their abilities to manipulate and to screw over employees, etc. I mean, I still don't understand how YouTube is exempt from all these freaking laws. They're using kids to have channels and they're paying them a lot of money and they're using them as child labor because they're paying them as a subcontractor, and yet nobody's worried about child labor laws. YouTube's kind of exempt from that. But they're not exempt from censoring anybody that disagrees with them. So, I mean, that just amazes me that nobody wants to question that. But anyway, so let's go on to this search warrant language here. Most search warrants start out, you're therefore commanded, this is what the court order tells you to do. You are therefore commanded to search. And then you have to put the location with specificity. So normally we would put a greenhouse with a blue door with the numbers on the right side of the house with the numbers 258 indicating 258 Hickory Street. The door faces west. The road runs north and south. The road in front of the house is Hickory. The road behind the house is an alley or Elm Street, whatever. So we would really, you're supposed to get really particular because when you get a search warrant signed, any officer can sign that. Once a warrant is signed, any officer can sign it. So a lot of times, some agencies or some courts will have professional warrant writers because they're good at writing warrants, and that's all they do is write. They don't even go out there and serve them. They just write them from the information, ask the questions, get it approved, and then they give it to the officers that need it. Then the officers go out and issue it. And that's how we get, a lot of times, they hit the wrong house. With pictures and digital photos now, it's a little bit less, but it's even more frequent than it needs to be. I mean, there's just really no excuse for hitting the wrong house in a search warrant. You've got time to watch it, videotape it. You have a briefing before. There's just no reason to hit the wrong house. But anyway, so in this one, legal support team is the only address I can find to serve them with paperwork. So if you need to contact legal support in YouTube, you send it to 901 Cherry Avenue, San Bruno, Texas, or California, 94066. Further described as YouTube LLC headquarters. And I put a map, which I would do in my original warrant. I would have pictures of the house so the judge knows, so the DA knows, so I know, and any dumbass cop that ends up going there knows, hey, you know what? This is a clue. It don't look like the house on the picture. Okay, so in this one, I don't have a picture. I guess if I wanted to, I could go take a picture or have somebody go take a picture of the front of the building and describe it. Has a large white building, Google headquarters, etc. I mean, I don't know what their security is. You never see Google. You don't see Google employees. I mean, they're the most secretive organization besides the CIA in the freaking country. Nobody knows who gives strikes, who works for Google, who do you complain? How do you know if somebody works for Google doesn't like you is affecting your account? Nobody, you can't complain on anybody. And they talk about transparency. But anyway, I digress. I'm trying to stay on this warrant. So I also put in here other contact information is the they give this as their email address, legal@supportyoutube.com. If I was doing this warrant, sometimes they allow you to do electronically served. So you can email the warrant and they will take that. Sometimes you can fax the warrant. I put a fax thing and they will take fax service. So you don't have to have personal service. Let's see. Entire subscriber and account information for YouTube account named. And then you would insert the name and the URL is what I would do on this account. So if I was doing my account, the name would be Good Luck America and I would attach a URL. And then I would want subscriber information to include. You know what? I'll just, since it's almost to the next page, I'll put that on the second page. Subscriber information to include, but not limited to. This is what I want YouTube to give me. I want the name of the person who owns the account, any address associated with the account, all email account associated with the subscriber, contact phone number, credit card information, listed account, IP numbers and locations, where the account is accessed, and all Google associated accounts with this account, login information, passwords used with login names and billing information. So I've pretty much covered, and you cover everything, because if you just say, give me the name of the account, you'll do a search warrant, and the people filling it out will take the easiest path and give you the name. And so that's all you ask for. And then you'll have to do another search warrant to go back to get the address. All that. So we've learned over time of doing search warrants, you put any possible way so they can't weasel out of, oh, I didn't know you wanted that. So that's why I put not limited to, meaning I want everything. Let's see. I mean, I should just be able to say, I want all information on this account, period. That ought to be it. Every bit of information you have on this account, I want. But, you know, they'll weasel out of it. They got lawyers too. Then on the account information, to include, I want all account information to include, but not limited to. And this is where I get into specifics about, I don't want them weaseling out and holding shit back. So I want email accounts associated with the account to include login and password. I want location where the account was accessed. I want a list of all subscribers to this account. So if somebody has 1 million subscribers, I want that list. I want to know who's all subscribing to this guy. I want to know all accounts that this user subscribed to. So not only if I was doing this on my account, would I want all the people that subscribe to me, I would want every channel that I subscribe to. And again, if I'm putting up a case together on the subscriber, I would need that information. But when the warrant I'm talking about is to get YouTube for all their secret throttling down, hiding, failure to notify, we're not going to recommend your video. YouTube is picking winners and losers. They're encouraging people that they push their agenda. They get more views. They get more exposure. And then people like me that doesn't push their views, I get throttled down. I have all kind of codes on my account, I guarantee you, about the number percentage. I think YouTube can give the percentage of people that they notify, because I have 100,000, over 100,000 subscribers, and I only get 3,000 views on my videos. How the hell can 100,000 people subscribe to me, and then if they get notified that I post a video, only 3,000 of the 100,000 watch? I mean, that's as crazy as Biden got more votes than freaking Obama. I mean, are you kidding me? So I know there's all kind of secret codes, and that's what people need to get out of YouTube so we can call them out with their lies. So I want all the subscriber information. I want a list of all comments this account has made in the past year. Meaning every time I make an account and call you an idiot or you're a dummy, I want a list of all those. If I was doing that to go after a subscriber, I would want that to show a trend, to show a pattern of behavior, a pattern of threats, a pattern of, promoting government overthrow, crime, killing, so whatever I'm looking for, I would want that. In this situation, I want to know what YouTube is removing, what they're keeping, what notes they're putting on this. I might add any notes associated. I did add somewhere in here. List of all videos uploaded, deleted, or removed by YouTube. I also want the ones that are restricted by YouTube. I put that there. List of all videos removed, age restricted, and or any action taken by YouTube on any video. Any action taken by YouTube on any video. Okay, let's see. List of all YouTube employees that have accessed the account, to include names and contact, name and contact of employees, what action they have taken, i.e., removed videos, limited videos, throttled down or up videos, blocking videos, age restricting videos, placing comments on videos. See, I think when somebody accesses my account, they have little notes like, pro-Trump or anti-Obama or racist or hate or pro-gun or anti-government. They have little codes and names that doesn't agree with YouTube's left-wing censorship, pushing their agenda and squashing anything that disagrees with their agenda. So when I would be doing a warrant or subpoena, if I was suing YouTube, that's what I want from them. I want all your secret codes, all your backdoor, all your notes, etc. So that's why I'm being very specific in my list here. Let's see. List of all notes, annotations, codes, values, or any internal measures that have been applied or removed from this account to include limiting actions, pushing actions, censoring actions, or interdepartmental communications regarding this account. Because I think YouTube sends little notes, hey, look at this, what do you think? I mean, sometimes when I post a video and I ask them to review it, this video is private, nobody can see it but YouTube, and it will literally have over 30 views by YouTube when they're trying to decide whether or not to monetize or to remove or whether it doesn't conform with standards. I mean, 30 views, that's 30 different employees that are looking at one video that I have private that nobody else can see. So the backdoor sneaky lies of YouTube, it just needs to come out and be exposed. And a good warrant and a good subpoena will get all this out. And then when people start making that public, then other people, when they do their warrant after that, will be able to say, hey, make sure you ask for this. When we did our warrant, here's what we found out they're doing. And we found out they're doing this. And we found out they have a secret. And they have a secret interdepartmental internet to where they don't do it on a computer. And it's not on the internet to where they communicate. And they make notes and they have secret files. Oh, that's another thing I didn't put in here. Any secret files. Let me put a note to add that. Secret files or locations. And I'll add that in there. Let's see, where were we? Regarding this account, a complete list of YouTube's command codes, complete list of all actions that YouTube's is capable of assigning or removing the account. This is critical because this will cover you when they can say, oh, we throttled you down, or there's an adjustment here. You know, I think there is an adjustment for the number of subscribes, the number of promotions you get, the number of ads that are played. I mean, it just doesn't make sense that I see other people with 50,000 subscribers and their videos get 100,000 views. How does that happen? How do you have 10,000 subscribers and you get 100,000 views? And I got 100,000 subscribers and I don't even get 10,000 views. So YouTube has a lot of manipulation. I want to put in there not only secret, any manipulation. I think I did that already. Let's see here. Oh, shit. Clicked a little button too fast. Where are we? Let's see. All codes and commands, accounts, list of codes and commands, how they affect the account. All this information is needed to find out their secret backdoor, you know, their transparency, that they're so transparent. They're so fair. You can trust YouTube. It's a member of the community. They want you a part of their community. Meanwhile, they pick winners and losers. They pick who can make and who can't. They demonetize. They take away your ability to make a living. They take away all your work and they just delete your account, all your videos and all your work. After they've made money and got money and subscribers, after they've used you, they can just fire you. Basically, YouTube hires you as a subcontractor because they don't produce anything. All they do is use what other people produce. They're pretty much like the government. And then they can fire you with no reason whatsoever. Just because they don't like your opinion. They can fire you as a subcontractor. I mean, labor laws and employee laws, for some reason, YouTube appears to be exempt, and I don't get it. Let's see. Any commands and actions, to be clear, all actions or ways for YouTube to manipulate, change, or modify any account. I want all your secret codes. Let's see here. Screenshots of these commands. And the reason why I want screenshots is because when you open up an account and you have, and I know there's secret things because when, you know, as a cop, when we access different accounts and we go in, there's certain ways that we can annotate and freeze. And, you know, a supervisor can come in and do something on the computer that I can't do if I'm running someone, or, you know, let's say I run freaking, you know, President Obama and I try to run his DL. Well, that's going to get a flag immediately. And it requires a supervisor or the head guy, admin, to investigate, to find out. So there's all kind of different codes and secret ways to do shit. And I'm sure YouTube, because they're a digital company, has a lot of ways that most people don't know. And I'm also surprised there's not some disgruntled YouTube employees that have gotten fired or been removed. Well, obviously they don't fire anybody because they got a bunch of incompetents working there. But I'm surprised there hasn't been a disgruntled employee that said, hey, here's some info or hasn't made copies. They probably don't allow them to have phones or release that information. Somebody has the code. Somebody can take a screenshot of a code to where they're screwing over a YouTube and they're squashing him and hurting somebody and affecting their ability to be a fair employee, a fair subcontractor, and get fair treatment. Because YouTube does not treat their subcontractors, all the people that they do not treat them fairly. And if you think so, then you're a fool. Any information provided can be digital or hard copied. Name and contact information from any and all employees that helped or assisted, advised, or were in any way contacted and collect. The reason why I want all this information is because there's going to be employees that'll say, hey, per the court order, I got to give them this. And there will be a supervisor or somebody up top saying, I don't want them to have that. Don't give them that. So I want to be able to contact everybody that was involved in the gathering of this information and find out who they talked to and everybody that they got advice from, so I can know who's trying to hide, who's trying to obstruct this warrant, so I can arrest their ass for obstructing a court order, because that's what I want to find out. Point of contact with an employee that can be contacted with any questions. And the reason why I want this is they're going to put some codes and they'll try to make it googly computer stuff, and I won't know what it means. And therefore, you know, someone else may not know what it means. I want to be able to call an employee and have a contact person say, hey, in the search warrant you provided this. I'm going to send you a screenshot of it. What the hell does that mean? And that way I can get information. So when I'm using this information either for court or to convict somebody, if I was doing this for a criminal warrant, I would want to be able to explain, when I got this information, I didn't know. I contacted employee so-and-so. He told me it meant this, and this is why I believe this was happening because of this, and I tie in all the totality of the circumstances. So that's why that's important to have that. I'm going to add in secret files, secret locations, secret codes. Did I go over everything? Subscriber, include, I guess I skipped some of it because I was bouncing around. List of all subscriber information, number of subscribers, length of subscriptions, because sometimes they'll unsubscribe somebody and then resubscribe them. I get that all the time. I'll have subscribers subscribe me 4 years. They go, man, YouTube just unsubscribed me. I had to resubscribe. So they're unsubscribing my users. They're not notifying my users, and they're throttling down and affecting my ability to be a subcontractor for them. They are basically discriminating against me, not only because they don't agree with me, but probably because I'm a white male. So let me play the white male. Oh, wait a minute. I'm an old white male. It's probably age discrimination. And I'm a disabled veteran. So they're discriminating me against that too. So I have all kind of good discrimination suits for them to do that. But, you know, trying to get a lawyer to sue them and because they got the protections, you have to go at them at a different angle that the protections doesn't cover them. And I think when they get into either child labor laws or unfair business practices or treating some contractors different than others, and you can show discrimination or bias, and that way I think you can go after them around the 302. Any logs published, numbers of notification, percentage of total subscribers that were notified, a list of all flags, interdepartment communications related to this account to include notes on the account. A lot of times they'll put little notes on the account, or there'll be a little flag that when you click on it, it takes you to a different note area. And I want to make sure and get all those if I was doing it. So anyway, hopefully this gives you an idea on what it is. Again, when I'm finished it, I will put a link with a PDF in the description. I don't know if even YouTube will line this up. If they don't, it'll be backed up to Bitchute. They may take it down because they don't want their secrets, you know, and they're transparent. They love people with power, love to abuse that power, and they like to keep their power secret. So anytime you hear people talking about transparency, normally they're trying to throw up a smoke screen saying, you know what, the last thing we want to do is tell you what we're doing, but we're going to tell you we want to be transparent. So yeah, and another thing that kills me about freaking YouTube, I can go to Google, who owns YouTube, and use a picture that I find on Google when I do a Google search. So Google is publishing a picture, and if I put that picture in my YouTube video, YouTube will say it's against their community standards and will take it out, even though Google owns YouTube. I mean, it's just crazy. Not to mention, Susan, the leader of YouTube, makes $450 million a year, and all she does is drive the company in the dirt with censorship. I mean, it's They keep crying. They don't have money. They're going downhill. They need to do this. YouTube's going to fail. How can you fail when you're ripping people off because you're only promoting shit that people don't want to watch, and you won't allow people that have an audience, and you won't give them a free chance at gathering an audience because it doesn't agree with your values. You're better than everyone else. You know what everybody needs. You should be government. You should be in charge. That way you could keep everybody safe. Can you imagine if YouTube ran the government? How safe we would be? Jesus Christ. All right. Hopefully you got something out of it. We'll end that there.